Hey, it's been a little while since we've seen one of our very good friends of this broadcast.
That's right. We're talking Stan Monroe in Toothpick City, and he is back in town, and Doug went out to meet him this morning with all of his amazing creations. Hey, Doug.
Hey, good morning. They're not my, his amazing creations. That's what you meant. I got you. Stan Monroe was a great friend of ours and still is, and was part of our newscast for a few years back, what was it, back in the 70s?
Way back.
Way back in the 70s. And I want you to know that we are practicing safe broadcasting here today. We have Stan behind something so he can't get out. Good morning.
Good morning, Doug. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. But I had not seen the towers before.
That was, last year we had the sacred structures, and that was mostly the Vatican and Mecca. We don't even have that here at Assisi Center anymore. We have just over 55 buildings from around the world, all built to the same 1:164 scale. Toothpick City is old news. Toothpick City is gone.
This is Toothpick World,
which is just too big to encompass in any one city.
Next would be Toothpick Universe?
You know, we're thinking there because if Terry can look up, there's actually the International Space Station right up there.
Wow.
So we're already encompassing part of the universe.
Very nice. And people can come down and see Stan Monroe tomorrow here at the Assisi Institute, correct?
I'll be here 10 to 4. And as kind of an apology for all the people who had to watch me over 10 years ago, I'm going to make them something out of toothpicks. So,
nice.
I mean, from time to time, I go to other towns and cities, and I turn on the news, and I see that feature reporter out there going, and I used to do that.
You did it very well.
I know I didn't.
No,
It was
yes,
horrible.
you did.
It was horrible,
Yes,
and I'm
you did.
sorry.
Larry the Llama's coming down a little later
Larry
on.
the Llama.
Yeah.
No, let's bring it back.
A lot of people, say, when I tell them, what's Stan Monroe up to, and they ask me, and I tell them that Stan Monroe is making things out of toothpicks, they say,
It's not a stretch.
But what's he doing? I said, no, that's what he's doing. And you have taken this show on the road to a lot more places than Rochester.
Oh, yeah, we're at the whole thing. I'm now working on my 135th toothpick building. And I'm in currently 5 different museums.
It is quite a story. We knew Stan Monroe would make something of himself, and we're still waiting for that to happen.
Great.
I'm kidding.
Great.
We love our Stan. He's back. Can you hang around for a half hour or more and do some more?
I'm really kind of busy.
All right, well, just do something with your toothpicks there. Norma's laughing.
Thank you.
Stan.
Hi, Norma.
Hi,
guys.
Stan.
Back to you.
Thanks, Doug.
Toothpick World.
Toothpick World, not Toothpick
World.
City.
10 to 4, and this weekend, all the details on 13wham.com.
People are already like, wait, Stan, where?
We'll see Stan again in the next half hour and on CW, and more ahead on 13wham News.
When he was on this broadcast, a lot of people do, and whenever they ask what's he doing, I say he does things with toothpicks.
And he does amazing things. And it has been years, and people still ask because they still love Stan, and he's with
They're
Doug.
Facebooking us this morning. Where is Stan? What's going on?
Yeah, he's here. We're at the Assisi Institute on North Winton, and Stan's going to be here tomorrow from 10 until 4 o'clock. You can come down and meet Stan Monroe in person. I had a question for Stan, but he says no.
I have a question for you,
And that
Mr.
is?
Mensa.
This is scary.
We're talking about architecture. We're talking about tallest buildings in the world, tallest man-made structures. Which structure held the title of tallest in the world for the longest amount of time?
I'll say the Empire State Building.
It was the Great Pyramid. Really, Doug? Really didn't think that through?
I did
What
not
held
think
the
that.
title for the shortest amount of time?
The Petronas Towers.
I'll give you a hint.
Okay. The Chrysler Building?
The Chrysler
Hey,
Building.
it's right here.
Less
Look
than
at
1
that.
year in
Wow.
1930.
I got to say, I feel like King Kong standing next to this thing right now. Just
And
because
that's saying something, because I feel like King Kong standing next to you.
All right, that's it. We're done.
on,
I can't work with him anymore.
All right, so I started out watching like a documentary on the mason workers that were working inside the buildings.
Right.
And they used to carve their wives' initials on the inside of the building. And this is how it all got started. I started carving Susie's name on the inside.
Susie is your wonderful wife.
My wonderful wife.
Inside, you can't see it, but we can. There is a heart structure, and that you say when you shine a light through,
You can see Susie's name pop
see
through.
Susie's name pop. That is just
You can
awesome.
see it a little bit closer, only if you look really close
Yeah.
to the Eiffel Tower,
Okay.
which held the title for tallest building in the world from when to when?
That would be back in the late 1800s.
1800s, so somewhere there. But that's how it got started. And I started carving her name into pretty much every building.
I did not
that
know
I've done.
that. You learn something new about Stan all the time.
That's what I'm telling you. But that's what I want people to get from this when they come here. It's just a sense of architecture and the history of architecture throughout the world.
And everything in here has a story, and it's kind of like a forest for the trees thing. You come in, you're overwhelmed by the entirety of it, and then you learn something about each individual piece of work. Stan's going to hang around for Rochester CW shortly after 7 o'clock. We'll have a little more time to visit with you then. Can you hang around?
I did. We did this show kind of straight, didn't we?
Will you be nice to me?
I will be nice to you if you'd be nice to me.
Evan, Norma?
Stan's
You
got
heard the promise.
some. He looks like he's been working out. I'd be nice to him if I were you.
Those toothpicks are very heavy.
Stan Monroe, former 13 Wham reporter, left us to play with toothpicks, so to speak. We're talking about former Channel 13 feature reporter Stan Monroe, not Doug. Doug left us though, but they're together this morning, both of them spending time at Toothpick World. I love your photos that you've been tweeting all morning, Doug, of the gang all back together. It's been nice to see you guys.
Fun. It is fun, and I will say one thing in sincerity, and then we'll go back to being the way we usually are.
Okay, being immature, okay.
That those 2 years when Stan was on our morning news, as much fun as it is now, it just set the bar real high for how much fun we could have.
Those are big shoes to fill, Doug.
We covered the serious stuff, but we also got those breaks every day with Stan.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
Right,
hey, Doug, real quick,
Yes.
a lot of people Facebook this morning and Twitter asking, where is the Assisi Institute?
Yes, it is at 1400 North Winton Road. Get off at Empire Boulevard and then just head over to Winton and go south on Winton, and it's right there.
It's like 10 feet past 590.
Yeah, it's right near 590. And you've probably been asking me, getting questions about what is Toothpick World. And what I'd like to say is the Toothpick World is a collection of more than 65 buildings, structures, and temples from around the world, all built to the same 1:164 scale and all out of toothpicks and glue. There is no other supporting structure in a 1:164 world. Here we go, Terry, we got to show this thing in a second. Here we go.
This is the size of an average person in Toothpick World. The average person is about that big.
Right.
This is you. I'm just saying. You haven't changed much.
You know,
you're still a little guy. You're still my favorite little guy.
I'm 6'2". I can't help it if you're 7 feet tall. And tell us about Toothpick World is going to be here tomorrow. You're going to be here tomorrow with Toothpick World to show all this off and explain it to people, and they can come and look and gawk and be amazed. But there are other places where your work is displayed. Tell us about that.
You can take a tour right down the interstate, stop at Phelps Art Center. I have some buildings there. Toothpick Town, which is my newest exhibit, is just a collection of 5 to 10 buildings. That's at the most in Syracuse. Take 81 south, go down to Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm at the Da Vinci Science Center there.
Wow.
And then go east to Baltimore, and I'm at the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum there.
Did any of these places do a background check? I got rendered you speechless. Of all it's like asking what's your favorite child. I know you don't have a favorite per se, but every single one has a story to tell. What do you think is the most interesting story of the structures that we see before us here?
I mean, they're also fascinating. I mean, Terry's looking at the Twin Towers in Bahrain. Those windmills, nope, these ones right
here,
front.
right here. Okay, right here.
Windmills generate almost half of that building's power. And it was actually designed to funnel the wind from the bottom, more wind from the bottom than the top, so that all the windmills could revolve around at about the same rate.
That's fascinating.
Just an amazing design, as they all are. A couple down, the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. They actually had the 2 different towers built by 2 different nationalities that kind of hated each other.
Oh, really?
And they pit them against each other to see how fast. No labor laws over there, so they got it done pretty quick.
How fast they could get it done?
Right, and that was the tallest building in the world for a while.
And then back in the corner is a building in North Korea, which we hear a lot about in the news, but there's an interesting story about how that building really wasn't put to much use for a long time.
For a long time, over 20 years, I think it's pronounced Rungyang in Pyongyang, North Korea. It sat empty. And I started working on it a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden they started working on it again.
Wow.
I don't know much of the story behind it, and then just, waiting for the pictures, obviously, coming out of North Korea was waiting forever.
Yeah, there's not a lot of that.
And I also actually finished the One World Trade Center before they
right there.
They did in the back.
1,776 feet tall.
Yes, so I'm hoping they don't change that number.
Yeah, then you're going to have to go back
fix
to
that.
work. Stamina Row here tomorrow at the Assisi Institute on North Winton Road. Come on down between 10 and 4. Stan fans are welcome, correct?
Even the haters.
Even the Stan haters are welcome
I don't
as
think
well.
anyone's going to try and mess with you with those muscles you got there. Have you been working out, Stan?
You heard Norma?
Yes,
Yes.
I have. Did you feel that, man?
Look at that.
It's like, ow, I broke my finger.
All right, 10
Bye,
to
guys.
4 Saturday at the Assisi
All right.
Institute. Love you. Mwah. All right.